Thanks, Mike. Well, welcome. It's an exciting day here. That's for sure. So, my name is Casey Crabtree, and I'm the economic director here at Heartland Consumers Power District. So, I want to thank you, first of all, for joining us at our headquarters here in Madison, South Dakota. And for those following on social media, thank you for connecting with us today. So, Heartland, as a public power company, has had a long history in economic development. Our CEO, Russell Olson, who worked for GOAD decades and decades ago. So you can tell by that beard he's got going. You know this, but his crowning achievement was actually establishing the fur trade out of Fort Pierce. Left there, Christmas folks that showed up a couple weeks ago. So I feel like what my kids must have felt like a couple days ago on Christmas morning. I'm so excited for gentlemen here to my right share their good news. All those good things we need to take care of prior. So I just want to point out a few dignitaries that I'm super proud that showed up here and joined us today. I'll start with our board president here at Heartland, Mark Joffer. So Mark, thanks for coming. Jerry Schmidt from South Dakota Soybeans. Thanks, Jerry. And we have the trifecta of GOAD commissioners here with us today. So we got former Commissioner Scott Stern, we got interim Commissioner Aaron Scheibe, and then we have the incoming one, Steve Webster. So thank you guys for being here. It's probably rare to get all three in one room, so thanks for that. We have Representative Randy Gross, Representative Marley Weezy, and Senator Jordan Youngberg. Thank you guys for all you do for District 8 serving the state of South Dakota. We have Tyler Thorson from Senator Round's office. We have Ben Reddy from Senator Toombs' office. We also have Mayor Roy Lindsay. And then lastly, joining us on his last day, we have Governor Dennis Duda. So thank you, Governor. So a timeline here today. We're running on a tight timeline. So each gentleman will share a few words. And we should wrap up the formal program in about 30 minutes. Probably enough. It's not the governor that has the tight schedule. He's got a lot of free time. So anyways, what we'll do is have everybody share, and then following that, there will be an opportunity to interview the folks up front for the media out there in the hallway, so you'll have some time to spend some one-on-one time to ask a few questions. So with that, it's time to get to the main event, and I'd like to introduce President and CEO of True Shrimp, Michael Zabel.
Awesome, Rick. Good morning. Governor Duda, Commissioner Scheibe, Mike Malone of Lake area, and all the dignitaries that have been pointed out, and the friends of what we're trying to do. As Casey said, I have the privilege to be the president and CEO of the True Shrimp Company. It's truly a privilege. And I'm here to announce to all of you on behalf of the board of directors and the 34 people who work at True Shrimp back on our laboratory development that we have selected Madison, South Dakota as the site for the first True Shrimp Harbor. We are glad to be here in Madison and the opportunity that you presented us. Harbor? Why do you call this thing a harbor? You're going to get used to some new language, folks. We call it a harbor to try to express to you and to the world the incredible technology that we have developed to grow shrimp in shallow water. It's never been done anywhere in the world with any significance. 1.9 billion pounds. Think about that again. 1.9 billion pounds of shrimp are consumed in the United States. Every man, woman, and child consumes 4.5 pounds of my standard line here. If you didn't get your 4.5 pounds, don't worry about it, I got it. 90% of it is imported from Southeast Asia and Ecuador under very uncertain conditions. With True Shrimp, over the last 4 years, with the leadership of the Nakamas family, Brian here, and his father, John, and dad, and the entrepreneurial spirit they have, we have been perfecting technology to grow shrimp in shallow water. It started with a patent from Texas A&M that we acquired, but I can tell you we have added to that magnificently. And if you're ever interested, I invite you to come to Madison, Minnesota, and there see Madison Bay Harbor, which is our full-scale pilot facility, a small reproduction of what Madison Bay Harbor is going to look like at that. Our goal is to grow shrimp in a safe and sustainable way. And the word sustainable is very important. We are stewards of the resource. We are stewards of Madison's resources. And we'll work with the Madison and South Dakota officials to make sure everything is in compliance with what we do. But we have worked so hard. We have a first class, and I tell you, first class engineering firm at ISG out of Mankato, and they just recently opened an office in Sioux Falls. And for the last 2 years, they have guided to take our vision into a engineered reality. And you can see the placards here on both sides of me on what it's going to look like. Aquaculture. Aquaculture is the concept of growing seed in an artificial fashion. Obviously, the sea is where seafood is from, but I can tell you that there is no growth in the harvest of shrimp anywhere in the world. The fisheries, the natural fisheries are tapped out. And I have a story I love to tell. John Knockwitz was back in the room 4 years ago. He introduced me to this concept and this technology, and I said, my God, John, if we can pull this off, we'll help people work. Now, we have to build an enterprise to get to that goal. But believe me, that's the goal, because 50 years from now, we're going to have to figure out how to feed people. And aquaculture and shrimp aquaculture is going to be a big piece of it. I cannot express enough my gratitude to the people of Madison, South Dakota, and the people of the state of South Dakota. This is no accident that we are here, by the way. South Dakota has reached out to us, and we've reached out to them for the last 4 years. Eric is here. He's been relentless, pursuing us in a dignified fashion, South Dakota. And recently, we started to look at South Dakota as a location, our galley. Okay? Now, learn some new words here. Our galley is our processing facility, and that brought us to Madison, South Dakota. And Andy Easley, our government relations manager, came back and said, they got some nice property there in Madison, Michael. You better have a look at it. And so I like to appreciate the gratitude. What does this mean to Madison? You're going to be stunned. Okay? We had a study done by the University of Minnesota. Now, I know that doesn't hold much credence. It's a small university, but they tried hard. And their first attempt, they told us that when we built this harbor complex, this was years ago, before the harbor complex is now as large as it is, there would be a $45 million economic impact on a 5-county area just for the construction of the harbor. And the ongoing impact to a 5-county community that's as tight as they could get it would be about $30 million a year. Now, we are updating that study, and we may have to use another university to help us with that. But I wanted to let you know what kind of impact. When we build this thing, thousands of semis will be bringing materials into this city. I told the mayor and others, if you're building this new hotel, it's going to be busy. As we build this hard. Our timeline, we are working hard, all of us in the team, to break ground. We have to go through some capital financing to get the money to build the harbor. We're going to break ground, hopefully here in the late spring or early summer. We are very excited. We came here, first of all, because of the people that we encountered all through the last 4 years. And Governor Dugard, right being at the head of that, he has been involved with us from the beginning. He's even come to Dallas to see our site. We came here because of the people, and we think we have the labor force and the support of the communities here to be able to do this. We need water. And the Lewis Park pipeline is a piece of that puzzle. We need natural gas, and we've got a major artery running right through the city. And then we have gravy. And the gravy is this opportunity zone that the property sits in. that opens up a whole new world of investment. We are committed to the Midwest. Brian and I often talk about, we build one harbor here in Madison, and it'll produce, we're projecting today over 8 million pounds of shrimp annually. Folks, that's 0.4% market share of the consumption of shrimp. So we build 10, 20, 40 harbors to make an impact on this marketplace. We've caught the attention of the shrimp consuming world. I'd like to share with you. 2 weeks ago, 7 executives got in their jet in Bentonville, Arkansas, at a little retailer called Walmart, to come and see us and spend the day with us at Dallas. At the end of this month, Costco is coming. They are recognizing the technology that we are creating creates this safe, sustainable, and for them, completely traceable through the supply chain. And so we're gaining the attention of the world, and we're going to bring that attention to Madison, South Dakota. So, with your permission, we want to come to Madison, and with your permission, we'd like to make it a harbor. Madison. Thank you for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Thank you, Michael. That was all that I had hoped for and more, so that was fantastic. With that, with the chairman of the board of directors of Food Trend is Brian Knopfler. Brian, please.
Thank you. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here. This is a landmark day, folks. It's a landmark day for us. We trust that you'll look back on it as a landmark day for the city of Madison, the state of South Dakota. It's such a significant thing, I think, for all of us to be here with Governor Dugar, who has led so well during his time in the governor's role for South Dakota. Sir, you've done well. We're glad to share this last day with you. We're humbled by it and honored by it. You have established such a strong presence of business, environment, and stability here in South Dakota. One of the things that has brought us to the state has been your leadership, and we thank you for that. And I'd also just like to thank, I'd like personally to thank former Commissioner Scott Stern. You've done so much for us in this process, and look forward to the new Commissioner Steve working with you. Aaron, I don't have words to express how much we appreciate, especially the last days and weeks here in working with you to bring this day to fruition. It's just been an honor to work with such a welcoming and stable business environment. Also, I've got a great deal of confidence, we all do, for the governor-elect coming in. Christy Nome and her staff already had a chance to meet a few of her folks, and just really excited about the opportunities that we have here in South Dakota. I'd like to also recognize my father, John Notkimus, who's really a pioneer in the belief in support of this project. He had a crazy son that came back from Ecuador about 9 years ago, and from Texas A&M after that, saying that, hey, I think we have this opportunity to take on a technology, a patent that needs to be developed. And our conversation went somewhere from what the heck are we going to do with that to, you know what, I think we can do this. So I'd just like to thank acknowledge him. For that belief. The City of Madison, the Lake Area Improvement Corporation, Heartland Consumer Power District, Casey, Russell, Mike, you guys have all really latched onto this vision, and it's been fun to see that come together, that belief and that excitement come together. And I'm missing people, and I don't want to miss people, everyone, because people are really what I've seen in the 9 years of progress here, the people have really been the defining moments in what has rounded the vision off to what we see today, and it will always be that way. We talk about technology, we talk about big buildings, but it's the people that really make this work. That's one of the reasons, one of the main reasons why we're so excited about Madison and South Dakota, because our core values are very well aligned, and you can see that very well. And last but most, I'd just really like to thank God for just increasing the vision here and his work and stewardship in our pathway here. It's such an honor to be part of his plan in feeding the world. When I think to the project, I think about snapshots or moments in time. And I'd like to just bring everybody back a little bit to some of the higher points, the stronger moments in the True Shrimp project. I tell people that I'll never forget about 9 years ago, standing on the dike of a shrimp farm in Ecuador, watching the seagulls fly around, watching the belly pan movers take dirt away after the ponds have been drained, and I'm thinking there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way in shrimp production. And we serve shrimp production all over the world, and we are glad to do that. And it's a very important part of the aquaculture food chain, and we'll continue to do that in every way that we can. But we have found a better way, folks. And we worked very hard on commercializing this technology for 4 years. And what we are doing and what we are starting today, and when I say we, what I mean is the True Shrimp Company, the city of Madison, the state of South Dakota, all of our partners in Minnesota and other parts of the upper Midwest. This is truly the last phase of commercialization. Madison Bay Harbor will prove to us and the world that this can be done. And to Michael's point, what are we talking about here? We're talking about one harbor. It's a huge building that will produce 8 million pounds of shrimp. That's a lot of shrimp. But it's 0.4% of what Americans consume today. So our sights are set more on 40 harbors than one. But we can't go to 40 until we get one done. And we are so excited about partnering with Madison and South Dakota to be able to do that. And I just again want to just thank everyone for their attention and attendance today. A couple other moments that have been really critical for us, and we talked about 4 years, but on December 23rd, just a little over 4 years ago, of 2014, we received the issuance of the patent from Texas A&M. We knew we had a lot of work to do. We celebrated for Christmas that year, didn't we, Michael? But we knew that we had a lot of work to do, and we began that work in January of 15. And what has happened since then, everyone, has been just nothing short of remarkable. The way that people have come around, the way that we've been able to attract talent that has ultimately grown this vision to what it is today. It's just been an amazing thing. The groundbreaking and the later commissioning of Madison Bay Reef, much like today, where we are just struck and humbled by the amount of people and just the quality of representation that shows up. We are amazed and humbled by the efforts that people have joined in to make True Shrimp a reality and success. And the Madison Bay Reef commissioning is certainly one of those days, one of those moments. Countless visits from investors and political figures and really large retailers, have all been part of this process. And one of the moments that really stick out in my mind every time we talk about this was when we commissioned our innovation center in Dallas, the very first one. We had a contractor gathering and dinner where we. How do you put that, Michael? We in celebration of growing the shrimp for the first time, we ate them. Yes. We ate them together with our fine contractors and had just a great evening, and I'll never forget that evening. We actually converted a vegetarian that night. It was very moving. Very moving experience. But there are so many stories, and I hope we get to share more of them with you. But I just wanted to leave with this: that today is a landmark day. Today is part of the story. Today is a moment that we will continue to talk about in the future, and certainly is a defining moment in the commercialization process of the True Shrimp Company. I think it's very significant because we put a stamp on the development process with Madison Bay Harbor, and it's actually the beginning of what we talk about in terms of the formation of the industry. So I want to thank you for all of that. I want to thank you for letting us be a part of your great piece of the world. and hopefully together we truly will build this industry. Let's do it. Let's build this industry together. Should we? Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Brian, John, Michael, staff, let me be the first to say thank you for your vision, and your commitment, and your confidence in Madison. We're excited to partner with that going forward. So, Mayor Roy Lindsay, would you?
This is definitely an exciting day for the city of Madison. First of all, I want to thank Senator Deb Peters and Governor Dugard for working with us to get Lewis and Clark Water to the city of Madison. That is part of what made this possible. And so with that, I want to welcome the company, Annette, and Michael and Annette for coming to Madison. We look forward to working with them in the future and seeing their system grow and the city of Madison grow along with it. You'll find you're coming to a welcoming community that has a very progressive economic development, educational opportunities, and we are one that is moving forward as a small city in embracing technologies. We're looking forward to building a partnership between the city and cruise ship, and we thank everyone for being here with us today. I know I could talk on and that, but I was told I couldn't.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the staff at the City of Madison for all the work that you guys have done to get us to this point. And we know we've got a lot of work to do yet. Brad, Chad, we know we got a lot to do yet, but I would not rather have anybody by our side than you guys. That's going to be a lot of fun. So next up is President of the Lake Area Improvement Corp. Noel Slaugh's muted for him. Michael.
Everybody, if you've seen any of the board members from the LAC walking around town the last couple of weeks, they've had huge smiles from ear to ear, or their jobs been dragging out around. We've been trying to keep it on the wraps, and for some of us that don't dare things in town, that's probably harder than on behalf of the LAC, Lake Area Improvement Corporation Board, its investors, I want to welcome Michael, Brian, and John, and the Christian family to Madison. We're excited about the opportunities Cruise Ship will bring to Lake County and the surrounding areas. And as Michael mentioned, it will impact the surrounding region around Madison. So we're definitely excited about that and the future of South Dakota. I think you'll see that Madison and building your first harbor in South Dakota will be a great project, and hopefully you'll start to clear it all for the state. You're all proud to be known as a location for your first commercial harbor, the Madison Bay Harbor. Also want to thank Governor Dugard, Governor Office of Economic Development, Aaron, thanks for all your work, and Heartland, to reply to ourselves and this one for assisting the LAIC in transitioning nutrition to Lakeview Industrial Park. We've had a great experience working together so far with Cruise Shrimps, and we're looking forward to being a true community partner to continue doing the business going forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And next up is Governor Dugard. As I said, he celebrates his last day or close to his last day serving as governor. And thank you for the last 8 years. You've done a wonderful job with the state and been a true leader in economic development. So we're so thankful for that. We're looking forward to continued relationships, much the same, stepping forward to be a new station. So Governor Dugard, if you would.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. I truly am excited to be here. Truly. It is something that we've been, as Brian mentioned and Mike mentioned, we've been courting Cruise Ship for a while. And for a while, we were inviting. And then after a couple of years, I think we got John and Meter came to Buffalo Roundup one year, and they suffered through my sales pitch on why South Dakota is a good place to do business. And then they came back to the roundup again the following year and suffered through that same sales pitch again. And I know Andy suffered through it, Brian suffered through it, they've all suffered through it, but I think repetition is worthwhile. I think the message finally is heard, and it really does demonstrate that South Dakota is a good place for business. And I think, and I'm very objective about this, it's the best place to do business. So we're very grateful that True Shrimp has chosen Madison as the place to build their first commercial scale harbor. When Michael introduced some of the new language, that's something that I'm trying to get my arms around, but I thought it might be helpful to some of you that maybe aren't as familiar with True Shrimp to interpret a little bit. Scott Stern and I and Aaron and others have been up to visit the Valentin facility in Valentin, Minnesota, and it is, as was mentioned earlier, a little bit of a miniature or pilot scale version of what Madison will be like. But let me describe, and so we've seen the stacked trays, I'll call them trays, tidal basins, big 12-foot wide trays that are hundreds of feet long, and they're stacked 8 high. So a 12-foot wide tray, hundreds of feet long, stacked 8 high. That's what you'll see in Madison. And how long will they be? 2 football fields long, about 600 feet long. So these are very large trays, and all told, if you took them and set them side by side, end to end, they cover 42 acres. So that's how much surface water is created in these tidal basins, and that's how big it will be in Madison. So we're very excited to see that the Valentin Reef is succeeding, is doing well. In fact, I had written down on my notes that a harbor will produce about 7 million pounds a year. But I know Valentin has proven that the shrimp are growing a little faster than they thought they would. And so I heard today now it's more like 8 million pounds per year of the same size harbor. Am I right about that? Is that why the number has changed? So it's a magnificent facility that's going to be built here. I want to say a special word of thanks to Aaron Scheide. He and Scott worked very hard on getting True Shrimp to look at South Dakota. We tried different financial incentives to set the hook on this aquaculture company. And we finally found a mix of dollars and loans and arrangements that with Heartland's help and with Lake Area Investment Corporation's help, convinced them that yes, Madison is a good place to be for that first harbor. We're very excited that the harbor will be here and that they're looking at the processing facility as well. So this takes time, and as was mentioned, we first started reaching out to True Shrimp in 2015. And so then I think John and Nita came in 2016, I think the first time, and then we've had them up to here a couple times, play golf and talk business again in 17, and then again in 18, and different members of the company have come here, and then we've been to Valentin a couple of times. I've been there, Scott's been there, others from our office have been there on a couple different occasions to touch it and see it and feel it and know that it's real. The aquaculture industry is very much in its infancy, and especially in the way that it's described by True Shrimp. As you heard, aquaculture for the most part is big pits out in the middle of the field, full of water, and the birds drop what they drop in it, and the wind blows what it blows into it. And because of that exposure to a wider environment, you've got to use antibiotics and all kinds of things that really affect the health of the shrimp within those ponds. And as aquaculturists try to move away from that sort of sloppy aquaculture to more scientific, carefully controlled environments, antibiotic-free environments, recirculating cleaner water environments. That's what True Shrimp has evolved and what they created in their patented process. And I know they took what A&M developed and added quite a bit to it, because A&M had pretty small scale stuff. And True Shrimp had to enlarge that scale, and enlarge it again, and then are going to enlarge it to the commercial size that we'll see here in Madison. It's going to be pretty exciting. I read in the news, so I know I'm not disclosing anything I'm not supposed to, but the harbor should employ about 60 people, what I've read in the news. As I said, 42 acres of surface water, 256 of these trays, of these reefs, or these basins, excuse me, stacked 8 high. And we're hoping to have ground broken yet this year and construction underway. And if I understand it right, you're hoping to get about half of it built and into production, while the other half is under construction. And I just can't tell you how excited I am about this. As I looked the last year or the last day in office, I can't think of a better way to spend that last day than to celebrate a success like this. I've always thought the economic development angle of being a governor has been one of the most fun jobs that you have, because you get to see businesses, you get behind the scenes views of things like your Madison Bay or your Madison facility. And but I must say that as I leave office tomorrow, I'm going to hand off to Christy Noel. She's going to be a very capable governor in my estimation. And she and Steve Westra, her incoming Commissioner of Economic Development, are committed to continue the good climate that South Dakota is for business, a low tax, low cost, reasonable regulatory environment. And if you don't think those things make a difference, then ask anybody from True Shrimp about the regulatory environment in South Dakota and why we're a good place to do this. And they'll tell you. So Steve, thank you for being here as you're starting to get set. We're glad to have, would you stand up, Steve, just so everyone knows who Steve Westra is. Again, I want to say thanks to Scott Stern for being here. He's been in the private sector now for a couple months. He bought the Stern Oil Company from his parents, and they closed that deal a couple months ago. So Scott's got his own fish to fry, as they would say in the comic book world. But he took time to drive all the way up here, and Scott, you've been a great leader and helping set the stage for True Shrimp to come. And then Aaron, again, I can't say the last couple weeks especially, Aaron has been working very hard to find common ground with True Shrimp in a way that's protecting the citizens of Madison and the state for the investment we're going to be making and are making, and also protecting True Shrimp's ability to do their business within a risk that they can control and within the financial boundaries that they need to be within. So, Aaron, thank you so much for doing that work. I also want to recognize Jose Marie, who's here, president of DSU. And if True Shrimp doesn't know it, DSU is one of the best cybersecurity and computer technology schools in the country. And if you don't believe me, ask the National Security Agency, ask the Department of Defense. They'll all confirm that Dakota State is one of the places they look to when they need to hire. And so we're very excited about the great couple of years DSU has seen and the future that they have. So the True Shrimp, I can say that regardless of who's the governor in here, South Dakota is going to be a great home for you. Even as I leave office, you've got a great supporter of economic development and Christy Nome, I know is aware of and has been through Steve and through conversations with Aaron in the loop on everything that's going on and is fully supportive. And so, as I leave today, I'm very confident of Madison's bright future and of Cruciate. Very excited for us. So congratulations, Matt.
Thank you, Governor. That wraps up the presentation for today. We've got a couple things to take care of. As Danielle will be up here to get some pictures with the governor, with the guys here from True Trip. And then after that, if you have any one-on-one questions that you'd like to ask folks up front here, they'll be in the hallway, and we'll kind of direct you to those. So thanks again for coming, and safe travels.
Thank you.
Yep, to go get them. Yep. I just didn't want to walk in front of it.